Recording will start
2.
soon. Will start soon.
Okay,
But
there it
damn,
is.
did you hear that? Did you see the record button?
Yep.
I'm like,
Big
God
red
damn, what a wash.
record button. It is. It is. But yeah. Uh,
Hey, hello,
here
hello,
we are.
hello. Welcome back to Black British Geeks. This is
Yep,
episode,
yep.
I'm not too sure. Do you know what number it is?
Uh, isn't it up in the 30s? 30 something?
Yeah, yeah, up in the face somewhere. We'll have it on the title.
Yeah,
Hope you guys and girls are well. It's been a while, but we're back. You know, of course, what's going on in the world has been a little bit crazy. At first, when I
exactly.
think when we first dealt with it, it was bad already. But I mean, yeah,
No, it's just, yeah. Yep. I mean, yeah, the world's just done. It's just doing its own thing at the moment. And yeah, it's going a bit crazy, but yeah, I don't know. It's at the same time, it's good to see people kind of joining together in some sense as well.
yeah, no, very true, very true. Coming together in
Even
solidarity.
yeah, exactly. Even though it's like sad situations and stuff like that, but yeah, but it's like yeah, it's good to be back as well. Like being able to talk to the people out there.
No, exactly. Um, Before we get into news, movies, and miscellaneous, how you doing? What's going on
Mhm.
with you? Of course, you have. I know, of course, not a lot because we're in lockdown. But I mean, anything that you want to share with the people, them.
With the
Oh my
people
people, say.
them.
Sorry, go on.
We're gonna tell the people them. I'm joking. Right. Yeah, so no, I mean, yeah, it's just been okay. It's been pretty good actually. I've been having more time to do writing, like or to write, and
Yeah,
yeah, it's been pretty good. I mean, I think I've been kind of slightly distracted, like writing about other things and kind of creating different content. But I think
yeah,
yeah, now pulling myself back to it is like yeah, it's just I like being creative and stuff like that. So it's been pretty good in that sense. And yeah, apart from being indoors most of the time, still kind of held up in there. But yeah, I've been kind of enjoying it at the same time as well in certain way.
yeah. It's good to hear, man.
Mm.
Really good to hear. I mean,
Uh,
for a lot of people at the moment, again, we've if we focus on there's so much more to do with now at the moment, because of recent
Exactly.
events. But I mean, if you just think about just coronavirus in itself, COVID-19 in itself, it's like the whole way of life has just changed for so many people. Not so many, for everyone, it's just changed.
Mm.
I mean, how we maneuver in life and how we, just simple, just every part of that's changed now. I mean, and funny enough, some of the people who I'll find it harder to adjust and realize that outside is not as normal.
Yeah.
Hopefully they won't feel, because that's the worst thing, isn't it? It's like you're gonna run out there and think, oh, it's sunny, and then end up being sick or pass on someone who you love. So
No, exactly.
yeah, man. But yeah, it's good that you have good. It's good that your mental health sounds well, because I think that's what's really important for everybody. I mean,
Yeah, no, exactly. You know me usually. So I'm just on the edge. I mean,
idiot.
I'm only joking, but yeah, not to make light of it because everyone goes through their times. We all go through something. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's just you have to laugh at the funny parts. But yeah, but how you been, brother?
yeah. I don't know. I'm
Mm.
not gonna lie to you, man. I don't know.
Yeah,
I've been good. I think I say good. It's I could be worse because of what's going on,
yeah,
stuff like that. And I feel like there's just it's almost like trying to work on bigger and better projects, trying to establish things is difficult in a normal setting. So let alone having first even with COVID, and where everything's changed and life's changed
yeah,
completely. Opportunities have changed. Your target audience has changed. Just kind of like dealing with that as one thing, and then you have things like the recent a repeat, should I say, of the recent event of another
mm,
killing
yeah,
of a unarmed black man, and it just kind of like it just adds to it. It just
yeah,
adds kind of all the pent up frustration that what I mean. Like you're even I would seem to to a certain level, I would say that I do feel desensitized, but actually I
yeah,
think it's just turned into more of a quiet, solid, hard rage.
yeah. No, it's true.
If that makes sense. Like I'm just kind of like, there's one thing where, before when it first happens, you're in disbelief and you wanna jump around and shout. But now at the moment I'm
Mm.
kind of like my mindset is more changed to, do you know what? I need to put all that in, all that
Yeah,
anger, energy in, and how best can you strategize to, do the thing that can make the most impact? Because
yeah,
yeah, it's we've done this so many times, like watching. Well, anyway, I don't even there's point of even introducing the topic, but of course
yeah, yeah,
we're talking about George Floyd,
yeah.
and I don't think there's gonna be many people who don't know what happened. Um, that's all I've seen across the news. It's
Mhm.
currently taking over even
Social
COVID news.
media,
Exactly,
and
social media.
yeah,
So yeah, if somebody doesn't know, in short, white police officer basically choked him out with having his knee on George Floyd's neck.
mhm,
He died shortly after. I'm pretty sure he died shortly after. He didn't die there. He died shortly afterwards.
yeah. It was
Um, him-
confirmed in the hospital, but yeah.
exactly.
Mm,
Um, and again, it's kind of like we've seen this so many times. Like
mhm.
we've seen this so many times in front of us, in
Yep,
color, in HD. Like I'm not trying to say it to be funny. I mean, like I'm saying in color and HD because it's not like there's rumors. We can say, "Oh, this happened." You can tell someone who's never seen this before that, "Hey, this actually happened to black people."
yep,
But the fact of you can see the crystal quality of what's going on in this world, and we go through a cycle that we were outraged, and then nothing changes.
yep.
So I've been
It's
talking on. You can jump
no,
in, man.
no,
Sorry, I've been
yeah,
taking over.
no. Like, one, no, I gotta say, 100% agree. It was just like they just had a woman on the news at the moment. Like she was like I don't want to say a grandma, but yeah, she
Mhm.
was an elderly woman, and like she was saying, yeah, for her as well, it's just been like you're seeing that all your life, and I know for us, like for us, that we're like kind of halfway to middle age anyway, and we're not halfway, more than more than halfway.
All right,
So
all right, all
we've
right.
seen we seen we've seen a bit of what's going on in the past as well, and we've even been alive during like the riots. I think they said the Naval riots happened in the 90s.
Yeah,
So you remember all of those. You remember like in America again with Eric Garner, who they choked last time, and they yeah murdered last time as well.
yeah,
So it's like yeah, you can remember all these things, and even for like the older generations, they've gone through seeing this happen nonstop. And it's like, yeah, it's just a repeat over and over and over again. So I feel like, yeah, it's what seems maybe a little bit different now is that the world's more together because you've got like the internet's become a big thing. So you've got people are more kind of coming together in unity again. But beforehand, people came together in unity before. So it needs to be that there has to be like some definite change. Because yeah, even though we've got more, like it's been maybe the only biggest difference now is that it's like so largely kind of spread around the world. So it's not only in America where where it's happening. You
yeah,
hear it over you hear it over here, and people are taking a stand over here. You hear it in like I think it's Germany, Sweden, all of these different countries. Everyone's taking a stand together and united
yeah,
together. And whereas before it was more just America, and then maybe you would hear it in a couple of other countries. So
yeah,
yes, but it's just sad that nothing's changed. Like they say, only one of the four cops involved has been charged, and you'd think that by now, because they love to do when it's like someone doing something criminal,
yeah,
what they do is they group you all in the same group. Usually, if it's
yeah,
like if they're not police, they quickly say, "Oh yeah, these four people were involved, or these five people were involved," and then they'll put their names out there. But for these lot, they haven't really kind of grouped them together. So
yeah,
and they were all
yeah.
part and parcel of the same event because if one of them stepped in, then this wouldn't have happened. He would still be alive, but because they didn't step in, they're culpable as well in that sense.
No, exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure I was listening to something recently where, they actually broke down the difference between third degree murder, second, first,
Yeah,
manslaughter, and also accessories to murder. And I think even when they broke it down, it's like they still almost fall under accessories to murder because they're fully aware of what's going on around them.
yeah,
And because they stood by and let it happen, I think they kind of fall underneath that.
no,
So,
yeah, and
but
I think
yeah, Go
Yeah,
on, sorry.
no. I was just gonna say, yeah, and I think like from the video, I'm not gonna say anything. I haven't brought myself to watch the whole video
Me
through,
neither.
but
Me
yeah,
neither.
I've seen some of it, but I haven't watched the whole thing through. So I've never, because I hear how bad it gets as well during like the end, and like yeah, it's like even with that, just being able to, from what I've seen of the video, you can hear his voice from where the person who's recording it is standing, and you're like, well, the of course the other cops can hear him
Yeah,
screaming, like yelling for his life, pleading for his
yeah,
life, shall I say, and they're doing nothing. And in that sense, it's just there. They all need to be brought up on that, and I think that's like one of the main things. And once you start prosecuting the police for when they're not doing their jobs,
yeah,
or when they're breaking the law, that will also change the way that they act towards people. And
yeah. No, definitely.
yeah, I think that's one of the main things at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I
Mm.
know this is like I know these comments, like in this conversation. I think I want people to understand something with in these conversations, and then just like any conversation you see right now on the internet, whether it's podcasting, TV interview, YouTube, I think right in the case of people are pissed, people are angry at the moment. Like, do you mean? And we're all gonna say some shit, which you know, maybe I'll take ownership now that maybe given some time to think about it, my thoughts might be different. But at the
Mm.
moment, when I hear this type of stuff, it reminds me of reasons why, like, I'm not the biggest fan of going to America.
Yeah,
Like, I'm gonna say that I grew up in London, as most people across the world. America keeps of control the media, and at one point, we all probably wanted to be American, and we all thought it was cool to dress their way and wear this and do this and talk this way.
yeah,
And it was from my experience going to America a few times that it just put me off. It's me watching the meet. It's like I remember like as an adult going to traveling to New York,
yeah,
and I remember just getting there, and I remember I think it was still in the airport how the police, loads of white police officers, just looking at us coming into their country, and
yeah,
armed to the teeth with guns. They got their sunglasses on. There was no need for sunglasses. It's just like
yeah,
intimidation, and it's just like, wait a minute. I'm saving up my money. I'm working my ass off here in this country to
mm,
fly over to your country, to which I'll probably be doing is spending money in your country, contributing to your economy, and how you welcome me is with guns. Like you just, you mean it's just like is
yeah,
whether it's a case of having a history of customer like doing things like knowing customer service, understanding people. It's like that's not how you treat people. Do you mean it's like you people? The first thing people want to see when they come to the country is be
yeah,
welcoming. Do you know what I mean? Start things on a high note. Don't come in with that energy already, and then on top of it, it's like again, it's kind of me thinking I'm coming to this country to see things, do things, and then I've got to be scared of your officials killing me in
yeah.
the street.
No,
Like
exactly.
that don't make no sense. Like you're right in the case of for me personally again, and this might bite me in the ass, but at this point, hearing this, I don't think the American economy and the white American economy deserves my money. I
Yeah,
work hard for a reason, and you don't deserve my money. And I think also for all these people out there, case of where it's like black or minorities, it's like you don't deserve that treatment. You do not deserve that treatment. I mean, you're working your asses off there. Do you mean? Or even
mm,
so many people who case are in situations where, you know, they are broke, they can't work. Okay, so I don't agree with stealing and stuff, but I mean also if there's a system that's built up in a way for you to lose anyway, it's
yeah,
kind of like it's just like I don't know, man. I feel like right in that case of it's hard for me to say it's like, I I love people from all parts of the world. Do you mean? And in case when it comes to American people, it's like they're some of the most passionate people you meet. 100% some of the most passionate people you meet. It's just unfortunately a case of when you take that passion, then you use whether it's their media, whether it's their poor training, the police things, and you start converting people's minds to start believing that, do you know what? On the streets of wherever city you're in, there's good guys and there's bad guys.
yeah.
And you know what? We have the authority that if the bad guy steps that line, we can do whatever we want. Like,
Mhm.
that's where I disagree. Like that's why I completely disagree.
Y- Yeah, no, it's exactly that, and like even just like you're saying, it's that whole intimidation as well. It's like sometimes it's not even if someone steps out of line. I think someone's, I can't remember. I think it was the last time this happened before. Someone said it
Yeah,
kind of perfectly. It was like as soon as you kind of challenge their kind of ego as well as
yeah,
police, then all of a sudden they will take the person's life.
yeah,
Like as soon as the person, and you don't even have to really be challenging them. You could just even question one thing, and then like, especially in America, they it's either the training or it's just that they've maybe picked up people who are sociopaths. Who knows? Like
yeah,
to
yeah,
be part of the system, it's like yeah. As soon as that happens, then they're willing to basically kill someone for it. And I think that's like you can see it's kind of systemic in that sense. It's like it's just sad that you've probably got like the really good police who are actually doing their job and taking time to know people, but at the end of the day, when you've got so many kind of bad police and it keeps on showing up that no one's getting prosecuted for it, I think that's where people say no, enough's enough. Because if police were getting prosecuted for it, people
yeah.
will still be angry, but people will be like, at least you're gonna go to jail because we know that you're not all just kind of you're not just like a legal gang in that sense
No, of course.
because at the moment that's how they kind of act. And I mean that's in America, and yeah, I mean until recently and even recently over here, you still have things like that happening where it's like, oh yeah, we'll do internal kind of investigations, but so because it's internal, no one else really gets to say, and it kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
protects them from within, and it becomes kind of incestuous in that sense. So for me, it's just, it's a sad situation, and it has to, it definitely has to change. And I think now I'm hoping that like there will be more kind of organizations coming out, and there's already organizations there, but I mean working towards making that proper change. And now that the world again is waking up to it, hopefully now
yeah,
like social media can be used to kind of reinforce it. So so it's whoops, sorry. So it's more reinforced instead of it just being like, oh yeah, a couple of days, a couple of months, and
yeah.
then kind of let go afterwards.
Yeah, do you know what? I don't know. I'm at a point now, like I was watching old music video, as I said to you yesterday,
Mm,
like kind of like just showing like within the artwork, not the artwork, but yeah, the actual video background, like while the audio is playing, is all the things that's happened before, all the right to see before. And you know, it looked exactly the same as now.
yeah,
Like it almost looked exactly the same as now.
I agree.
And yeah,
No, I say I agree. That's my fear about this whole thing, is that it does look very similar to what's already happened before.
yeah, and I think right now, case of I've said this, but I said to you recently as well. I think it's about time for people to start thinking bigger, like really think bigger, start doing things that's really going to impact these America. Well, impact America. Do you mean? Before I go into that part, I just want to say you made a point about the good police officers, and I think
Yeah,
this is also one of the problems because it's kind of like it's we need to see more of the police officers protesting.
exactly.
Like that's I want to see. Do you mean is that if you're a good police officer, there's difference between like not being a criminal, but if you're in the same department where you know someone is sitting down there and that's what they're doing, and you say nothing, you're just as bad. We're actually okay. Okay, let's be fair. You're not as bad, but you're also part of the problem.
Yeah,
It's that simple. You're part of the problem because right now, case of it's like we need to see more. You don't need to be speaking up. Do you mean forget just for for a lot of people you always hear is at first it was like black people screaming. Now you of course now you got white people screaming as well. Let's see some of these officials come out. Do you mean I've granted which has been good. There has been a few I think there's been a few officials who've spoken out, which is good, which is a good
yeah,
start. So I will give them the credit, but we need more of that. Do you mean because that's the whole point of the case of it's the bad police officers that's giving the rest of them a bad name. And right now, case of it's the good ones who are not speaking up enough. They're staying too silent, and we need more of them to jump up and actually help out. And I think
yeah,
that's when you get more change. But so what I was gonna say before is, yeah, it's time for more drastic stuff. It's time for more drastic stuff. I'm kind of like, if I live in that country, do you think I think I said to you before, do you think I'm all my hard-earned money is going back into a system that doesn't give a shit about me?
yeah,
Like, do you think I'm, companies that will happily profit off the black image, whether it's like companies like Nike or different brands doing this and different things, like, they're happily, you know what I mean, kind of come off of our backs to make their money, but they're still sometimes too silent. They might say a few things, just like, oh, it's a nice campaign to get this sold, but I feel like sometimes there's some of these brands case of they don't care or they're silent. Do you mean? And I'm for me personally, I'm kind of like, do you know what? If I'm there, I'm affecting people's money because that's usually how people start listening. We know what I mean when you start affecting money for somebody, and then someone says, "Hey, do you know what? This we need to fix this problem because of I'm not getting paid. I can't feed my
Mm.
family." Then people start waking up and start doing more shit. But at the moment, I feel like if you just keep it as the angry black people, and then we let's give it some time, let's give it some time, it comes down again. I think that's not good enough, and then it happens again. I feel like we need that to mean, or before you know it, case of in America, people start shooting back. And it's like to me, it's
Yeah.
like Americans love their guns,
Mm.
which me I disagree with. I listen to some podcasters who I think took out shit when they're talking about, they try to laugh at UK that we don't have guns, but yet look how you
Yeah.
guys are using your own guns yourselves. Like, look how
Exactly.
you guys use your own guns yourselves. Look how your police are using guns yourself. We still have issues here, yes, with our police. But you know what? I think things would be a lot worse here if you gave all the police guns.
100%. Yeah.
So, do you
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just,
I think that's the only one kind of the only one kind of good thing about over here is that police don't have guns. Like random police don't have guns. It's not given to like the normal kind of street
mm,
cop or the street police. You have to have it has to be the actual the team who has it. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's a better formula. And like you're saying in America, because everyone has guns and they don't really want to relinquish their guns because they say
yeah,
it's so-called meant to protect them, but it also gives the police the excuse to have guns in that sense. So now the police can say, "Oh well, because anyone can have guns, we have to have guns to protect ourselves," and then they can use it as an excuse to shoot people. I know in this situation with George Floyd and in the situation with Eric Garner,
yeah,
there were no guns being used. So even then, of course, that it may not apply, but also there is a factor that does come into play with everyone else who
yeah.
has been shot by police.
No, no, of course, of course. And I guess also probably intimidation as well. Do you mean is that
Yep.
maybe if you're seeing someone doing it, if you see police officers doing that, you're probably not going to want to edge too close to them, or you want to shout at them. But of course, you
Mm.
still don't want to raise your voice too much because the person who's put his foot on the guy's neck.
Yeah.
Two dudes can pull out a gun on you. He'll be like, step back. Two you next to you, you're the one who's getting shot on TV. And the
No,
policeman say,
exactly.
"Oh well," he's like, "He was aggressive. He was aggressive. He may have had a gun." It's like because that's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They're shooting you back in the street and say, "Oh, he was resisting arrest." Oh, he had a gun. And it's like, wait a minute. There's no evidence there, and the video shows a man running away from you, terrified,
Exactly.
and he's still shooting on his back, which happened.
Yeah. I know I've seen the video for that one as well. And it's just it's ridiculous. It's just like even that one, he should have been prosecuted straight away. And I can't, from what I remember, I don't remember him getting the police officer getting or say a police officer. I remember the guy who killed him getting
Yeah,
prosecuted. But yeah.
that's in
So
it. They just this that's it again is that those names just disappear, and then before you know it, there's a new name and there's a new
yeah.
police officer, and then we're talking about that police officer, not
Mm.
realizing that the one before went on like administrative leave for a little bit, and he came back to his job.
Yeah.
I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure I'm pretty sure I heard of this guy as well that he's actually shot people and he's been part of other crimes like this before.
Okay, yeah, see,
This same police officer, I can't remember his full name, but I was doing something else was talking about him, and it's like he's done other shit,
yeah.
and he's still been walking around with this job.
But and sadly to say, because I don't like just judging people off the way they look, but he looks like it. The way he was kneeling on his on George Floyd's neck. It's
Yeah,
like he looks like a person who just doesn't care about people. They had no care. There was no thought of what's going on, and even the
yeah,
people that were with him, it's like they're not doing anything. And it just
exactly.
it's just a horrible kind of like it's just really I don't even know what to say. It's just like a horrible bloody kind of situation of you can tell it's the whole police department
Yeah,
because it wasn't like one of them like, hey, wait a minute, stop doing that, or anyone kind of stepping in. And like you said, I agree 100%. Going back to the gun issue, like you saying,
yeah,
the threat of being shot is another thing because I think I can't remember if it was. I know it was in England, but I can't remember if it was with police or if it was with a school teacher or something. But someone
yeah.
was kind of like over, like aggressively handling a child, and
Mm.
then the kids got together and pushed the person off, and then
Oh
basically
yeah,
the kid was able then to to stand up and be able, later on they can go and talk to the kid and ask them what happened. But if
Yeah.
you're overly aggressive to someone, you should be able to, as people, to correct what they're doing, because like with the police over there, they're not doing their job properly. And the people should have the right to be like, no, wait a minute, this isn't what we want, because you're meant to be working on behalf of the people in that sense.
No, exactly.
But yeah, but I know people will say that police didn't start off that way in America. They used to start off as kind of like militias, and they were kind of working for themselves or working for businesses. So yeah, so maybe it is just systemic or kind of within the whole system.
Well, right in that case of, I feel like America needs to be careful. It's just
Mm.
simple. It's like you're playing, you're playing with fire, man. You're playing. It's like we're over here. Like there's so many of us case of are not even in the country, and we can see what's going on, and our blood are boiling. And I'm like, do you know what? And the joke is, you're pushing people to such a point where it's like people are shooting back. It's not even. It won't even be bloody black people shooting back. Do
Yeah.
you mean?
Well,
Do you mean you can have anyone? Do you mean because everyone's feeling his pain? Everyone's feeling his pain. And two, one. I mean, one guy. I mean, one white guy who has official gun, and maybe his partner. Do you mean or his best friend was black and was killed? That man's gonna pull out a rifle and start shooting people off.
mm,
And then what are you gonna say next? Everyone start crying in the streets, blood in the streets with the police. What are people gonna say next? Do you mean like no one wants that? Like
no,
nobody wants
exactly.
that. All those people, all the black people, all the minorities out there, they don't. No one wants that. Even the police don't want that. No one wants that trouble. We just want to live. I mean, just live, go inside, do our things, go from A to B to feel safe. But it's like you can't keep pushing people. It's just that simple. You can't keep pushing people. Do you mean? And like I'm saying to you, like I'll make it very clear.
Yeah,
I do not want to see that.
exactly.
I do not want to
Mm.
see anybody losing their lives.
Mm.
But you keep doing this to people in a country where you also want to hold your gun so high, and it's not even you that want to hold your gun so high. It's white people want to hold their gun so high because you don't want when you know a black person's gun, there's an issue.
Yep.
When it's a white person, you have the right to hold your gun. When you want to go out there, when the white people want to come and protest about their things out there, it is fine to walk around your gun on your chest protesting.
Yep.
How do you think that people like I think there was a few protests when the Black Panthers I think, walked around their guns
Yeah.
protesting. Do you think in today's world any of these protests could people walk around with a big rifle on their back or in their hands? No, it can happen. They get shot down in the street. And the joke is people's mentality in the world is like, oh, it's fine. Like they shouldn't have had guns.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
you
it's
have white
crazy.
people but you have white people coming on the road. What do you mean? All these big semi-automatic weapons protesting, and it's like, oh no, they're good people. It's fine. They have the right to bear arms. So I go on.
No, no. I want you to get that out because it's 100% true. It's like, yeah, they've shown so many times where it has been just white people being able to walk around with their guns. And it's like, oh, yeah, you got the right for guns. But if a black person does it, yeah, you're getting killed, you're getting shot. Or,
Yeah,
even if you're, yeah, even if you had like a knife or something. But like you're saying, going back to the right to like bear arms, in that sense, it's meant to be for everyone. But as is being said as well, in America, because it was just built on a rotten system anyway. Because they
yeah,
always like, oh yeah, we want to going back to the whole Trump thing about make America great again.
yeah,
What does that even mean? Like when it started off with slavery for black
yeah,
people, and then basically what is like make it great again for who? What just for just for white people there, or you talking about make it great for everyone? And if you're talking about make it great for everyone, then you would be like you'll be more up in arms that a policeman killed a black unarmed black man,
yeah,
while another three stood around and watched or done
yeah,
nothing about it. That's who you should be calling thugs, not the people on the street who are protesting. And
yeah,
yeah, you may have some riots, but the riots are also because of the anger of what happened to George Floyd. So at the end of the day, I feel like yeah, going back to their whole system of things. Now
yeah,
you got someone like Trump in power. I mean, looking at most of the presidents who came before, even before Trump at the moment, you had what Bush, you had Obama, who was a bit better, like at least he came out and you could see like okay maybe there was some changes that were going on, but at the same time it wasn't. there was still a lot of the things like Eric Garner and everything happened under his administration.
Yep.
So, and nothing was done again. So, at the end of the day, Obama was there. I can't say he was great, but he was, he was there. But
It
when you
wasn't
look
great.
at, yeah, yeah that's,
Drinking
what can
too
you,
busy. You know, maybe I need to put a tick. I need to put a tick on this episode to say they'll be swearing, because don't fucking sit down in Flint drinking their fucking water. Excuse me, I know I shouldn't swear, people, but again, it's like you're playing people's lives.
yeah,
You are playing with people's lives. It goes again. This goes exactly again into the treatment of black and minority people.
no,
You
it's
see
true.
people drinking dirty water in
Poison
Flint.
water.
Well, exactly. Sorry. Poison water in Flint. And the joke is, they actually have a stream water. They have a water source not too far, which the government. Do you mean the government are easily happy to pull in to clean the cars?
Yep.
But yeah, everyone else is who's there. Everyone else is there is fine to drink it, and then Obama comes down and he's sipping on the water. Oh, he's parched. Oh, oh, tastes good to me. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Do
It's,
you mean
no, it's
if you?
exactly that. It's just because when you told me about it and I watched the video,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, and that's when I was like, yeah, I can see why people don't like Obama either,
yeah.
because
Please,
he's just part of the same problem, and he hasn't done
listeners.
anything to change anything.
Yeah, listeners. So please YouTube Obama Flint water. It's him drinking a glass of Flint water. And the joke is, there's a documentary by Michael Moore. I think it's Fahrenheit 11.9. It's a whole
Yep.
documentary where he goes into this, and you actually hear from the black people who live in the area, where they were so happy that Obama was coming to their town, so happy Obama was coming. And then afterwards, when he left after doing that, there's like, you know what? He's not a president. He's no longer a president, because he came down, he saw us all here in this state, and he did this. He did it twice, sipping the water. No, saying, I need some water.
Yep.
Then what comes?
No,
Sips it. He doesn't even drink it. He touches his lips. And he's like,
yeah.
tastes fine to me. Doing.
So
Didn't see
okay.
part of his lips were green. Nah, joking.
It's true. Oh man, sorry. I know it's like, yeah, just try. You have
Oh
to,
god.
yeah, you have to laugh at some because it's sorry. What made it worse for me is that
Mhm.
he's playing face doing it just as a publicity stunt, and then he goes and says, "Oh yeah, I'm not just doing this because it's a publicity stunt. I'm doing this because I'm really thirsty." It's
Yeah.
just like, this whole thing's a publicity stunt. We know why you're doing it, and
Yep.
you're not even helping the people. So, like I was saying, going back to even like him, George Bush, and Trump now, who's calling people thugs, like I was saying, who are just protesting,
Yeah.
for the rights of black people to be seen as people in America, and
Yeah.
not just people that you can just kill and be like, nah, okay, yeah, now you can either you get some time off work. We're gonna say we fired you. We're gonna say
Yeah.
thing, but we're gonna really rehire you later on. All of that sort of stuff needs to end. And going back to even with I think at the beginning of his whole career with Trump,
Yeah.
standing next to the whole I think one of the guys who's like the head of the Ku Klux Klan out there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not racist."
Of course not.
Yeah, but you're in photos with the head of the Ku Klux Klan or one of their main members. So it's just like this is what America is based on, and this is what people are protesting about at the moment. It's just sad to see, and it's like you don't want to be here in another 5, 10, 20 years and hear the same thing happening again, or where police just get away with it and one policeman gets used. I'm not going to say scapegoat because he's
Yeah.
100% guilty, but
Yeah.
so one policeman gets done, but you don't see the rest also getting done the same way. In that
No,
sense,
of course.
he's like getting prosecuted in the same way. I think that needs
Listen,
to be done as well.
listen. Look, they're African Americans. Please, maybe consider this. Okay. I'm not saying this is the best plan of action, but I think at the moment, case of, you need some options, because at the moment, what's happening isn't changing. Me personally, I'm thinking, do you know what? Let's think outside the box for a little bit. Imagine if you took your money and went somewhere else. If you didn't want to leave, if you didn't want to leave your country, what I'm hearing that Atlanta's meant to be great for black people. Why don't you consider maybe, taking your money, going over there? Like, and I know part of me is like, I know part of me is just like, stay and fight. I mean, the Jamaican means like stay, fight, 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 fight. Yeah, but also part of me is kind of like just let them fucking sink. Let that country, let them states sink. Because right in that case of it's like when you look at um black culture and our contribution in so many levels.
Yep.
Do you mean it's like people want to put all the things that people want to praise and put high up, whether it comes to um music, like as in we talk about lean on things first that they love to push. So the music things, the fashion, the food. We've got so many things you want to push already. Do you mean? And that's not even giving us the credit for all the education shit we're doing as well. Do you mean we're succeeding in all spaces, not just athletics? Do you mean we've got some amazing scientists out there doing this shit as well? So right in the case of we've got a lot to give, and right in that case of I feel like, do you know what? As you said, it's like the bones, the history, the foundations of this country, like the foundations of America in itself are rotten.
Yep.
Like it's just that, do you mean it's a bunch of people. I don't want to say it wrong. So it's not is it American Indian you say? Is that the wrong word to say? Because I don't want to offend anybody.
Native Americans.
Cool. Okay, that sounds really properly. I apologize for upsetting anyone. So you have the original Native Americans, have gone through their stuff with you guys. Like, it's like I can't even say gone for your stuff.
I
I can't
was
like
about
that.
to say, yeah.
That's you can't even say that. Do you mean it's
Yeah.
like? And I feel like I'm not informed enough about your struggle.
Yeah.
All I know is your struggle was bad.
And it still is like they're still going
Exactly.
through the same thing. Just
Exactly.
crazy.
And I can't. That's what you mean. It's like I can't even. I don't. So I mean, I just don't know. I don't want to talk on them too much because I don't know enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I know. I want to have to show them respect. I need to learn that stuff. All I know is we're talking about the foundations, and you begin that journey by killing them off. And then on top of that, then it's like then you're gonna pull in black people
Yep.
to help build your stuff. Who you gonna bully, do this, do that to them, and then when they're free, you want to leave them here. Okay, cool. Now we find a new way to bully you. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay, no, my computer froze.
No, I could hear. Yeah, it kind of froze for a second, but it's
Yeah.
okay. But
So
yeah.
for me, it's like you have all this foundation already, and then right in that case, I feel like all these people are trying their best to like. It's like for me, it's almost like a building on fire or sinking boat, and everyone's trying their best to stay on it, stay on it, stay on it. I'm like right in that case of it's like I know it sounds big to do, and a lot of people probably say you can't do it, but I'll pick up my ass and the world is once it's like once you travel a bit in life, you realize the world is not that big.
Yeah.
I'll take my money, I'll take my family, and you know what? Maybe let me go to the let's go to the continent of Africa where there's loads of countries out there where do you know what? There's people out there who look like me. And also on top of that, there's people out there who are they're also working people who don't look like them. Like, maybe change things a little bit. Let's change things around. Let's put our money into building those countries, those economies. I mean, I know it's big, it's a big
Yeah.
idea. I'm not saying people should run it, but I mean, I think we need to do some other options because you're fighting this battle in America where it's like we talk about Trump. It's kind of as much as you want to badmouth Trump. Think about the people who voted him in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
one it is one thing to complain about Trump, but it's the people who follow him are the worst ones
Mm.
because there's not just one of them. There's a whole pack of them who think this is the right guy. There's a whole bunch of women who, after hearing everything he said by grabbing them by the pussy, they're like, do you know what? He makes sense. He's
Yeah.
my guy. And they did it and they followed him. So just think about
Yeah.
these people. This is the mindset of a lot of people out there. This is the mindset. I'll take my money and go. Do you mean all these does he treat all these other brands, all the other companies? Do you know what? You can't treat me with respect. I'm taking my money, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And twos, you ain't got no customers. Because the people who are the allies with us, they'll come with us. They say, do you know what? Nah, I'm not in that. Now, do you know what? If you can't treat people different to you, I'm gonna go with them. We're gonna go over here. We're gonna visit this
Yeah.
place because you can't associate yourself no more. And I think right in that case, I think that's one of many options. I think people should start thinking about. Like, just I don't know, man.
Yeah, no,
I know,
I
I
agree.
know it's a big out of the box idea, and I know for a lot of people it's like it's not. They don't think it's possible. But I'm like, that country don't love you, man. That country does not love you. Like that country does not love you.
Yeah.
And the foundations is like there was no love. There's no foundation. There's no love in those foundations. There's no love in those foundations. So do you know what? We go somewhere else. We go rebuild somewhere else. I mean,
Yeah, no, it's true. And like you're saying, even with that, it's just yeah, they can either kind of you can either go somewhere else or you can kind of use your money, use your time to kind of build up your own communities in that sense. Because a lot
mm,
of the time, like you're saying, you're buying clothes, but yeah, you're buying clothes with all these different people's names on it, Italian people, or you're running down and you're doing your you run down to the jewelers and you're spending outside and doing all these other things in different communities who
yeah,
weren't really backing you, aren't really backing you until recently, where it looks like people are kind of backing you like even before and even in those communities you're still probably not as backed as much as you could be, so it's better just to take your money and kind of yeah do do like you're saying, spend it in your own communities where your communities are broken down, or where you're having like there's more crime due to there being a due to there being poverty in those areas. Use
yeah,
your money to basically help build up those areas so there's no longer that poverty, so people no longer feel like they need to go and rob from each other or kill
yeah,
each other to get things, because that's another thing. A lot of people kind of have in those communities, like, oh yeah, we haven't got, and we want these things, but our
yeah,
communities are too poor, so we feel like we have to either rob from each other, or just go into a life of like selling drugs and stuff like that to make the money. And it's like that's that's just the worst way of doing it. And I know going back again, this is where we go into like things like how we portray ourselves or even see ourselves in movies and films.
yeah,
It's like this is all glorified and glorification of certain things, and I think this is where that needs to be integrated into what we actually do, or like in America and even over here, it started to seep into how people see each other. Everyone's calling each other like niggers and stuff like that
yeah.
as a term of endearment. I don't see it that way,
Nope.
and it's like all of that becomes part of a culture that we all believe, or this kind of mass kind of indoctrination that, oh yeah, we should all kind of carry on this way,
Yeah,
like. And I feel like that needs to be broken down as well, so that we're not all kind of just following this yeah, like I said, just following this mass indoctrination where people feel like, oh yeah, this is all that we are, because there's much more to being black than just a lot of these stereotypes as well.
no, no, exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's just you know what, like it's not for me. It's like it's fun. I've been listening to like just listen to podcasts, watching TV, and in many ways, I didn't want to have this conversation again. Because but then again, it's like it's a conversation that needs to happen in it.
Yeah,
It's just that simple. It's a conversation that needs to happen. And right in that case, so it was like I didn't. It's just I think even first time actually speaking about it properly now, it's like it just reminds me of how angry I am,
yeah,
and like I've tried my best kind of not to let it bother me, but as like I've had, it's kind of like I'm someone who as you know in my house, you step into my house, I've got Martin Luther King and I've got Malcolm X on my wall. I
yeah.
got two big ass posters. You step into my flat, two big ass posters side by side. Do you mean? And as you know, do you mean they reflect both of them reflect my mentality and my mood when it comes to these type of things.
Mm,
One minute, I'm non-violence, and the
yeah,
next minute I'm by any means necessary.
yeah,
And it's like I tried to be the non-violence person, and I do, and there's loads of strategies I think people can use to be and follow the non-violence part. But all I'm saying is like your spark, your like it's like you literally look. Sometimes when you're lighting a match in a
yeah,
room full of gas, you keep sparking, like keep sparking because no one's taking a bit yet. But before you know it, people can start pulling out the guns and say, "Do you know what? I got the right to bear arms on you right now," and two things gonna happen. So I just don't want that to happen. Right in the case of I just want to see things change. Like I want to see things change. I don't think it's gonna be as hard as people think, and that sounds weird me saying that. I don't think it's as hard as people think. I think it's
yeah,
as simple as you know what? There's laws. There's laws already. You guys have laws already. Just enforce them. If you really want to see black people slowly get on side again, what you do is a police officer breaks the law. You arrest them, you convict him. Well, charge him, you convict him. Done. The
That's it.
three people he's with, the other people there, you do the same. Whenever you see anything going on regarding this type of shit, you hold people accountable. Like, all you have to do is follow your own laws. Like, it's the simplest thing. Just
Yeah.
follow your own laws. Done.
This is it.
Like,
This is
go
yeah.
on, sorry.
No. And again, going back to yeah. Sorry, no. I want you to finish what you're gonna say because you just making some good points. But
Yeah, no, that's just for me. It's like loads of people want to do. Let's try and redo this. Let's try and redo that. It's like it's not that hard.
mm,
It is not that hard. You sit down there and you find a judge who has all the evidence and says that this person should be convicted, and it just says, nah, he's okay. No,
yep,
you review that judge and then you get him the fuck out.
yep,
It's that simple. Follow the rules. Just follow the rules that's there already. Done. It's not like the fucking Brexit thing where, we need to start writing up a new policy for every country and, okay, well, we give you 15% of this and no, we give you 10% of this. No. Like, you have the basic rule book there. Just follow it. Make people accountable. If you see, it's like if you see a list of, okay, we've had this many deaths in our region or our area, there shouldn't be deaths there anyway. Who did what? Okay, cool. So, his name keeps coming up. Or we have all these complaints for this officer. Let's review this officer. Let's do something. It's just that simple.
yeah, no,
Do you mean
exactly, yeah,
it's literally that simple? Do you mean these days the evidence is just handed to you on a plate? It's handed to
yeah,
you on a plate. But that's what America does wrong with the fucking time. And this reason was all change. You sit down there,
no,
people, huh?
yeah, no. So yeah, I was just gonna say, and I agree with like you said, you should review the officer, and if it's like you said, if it's been brought up so many times, that you should review the precinct. That's basically not kind of brought it to light in
Yeah,
that sense because yeah, they should have at least brought it to light, bring it to light in the sense of if they've seen this, if it's been brought up so many times, then something should be done about it. So yeah, like you're saying, it needs to go into kind of more than just like surface level. It needs
yeah,
to dig into the actual kind of system of the system that's at work at the moment. But yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, so
To me, it's just simple. Like it is. It's just that. It's simple. What needs to be done. They just need to do it.
yeah.
Just that simple, man.
It's just great, crazy that this keeps on going on. Yeah, it's all nice. Like yesterday, I put up I put up the black box on the thing, the
Yeah,
square, and like you're saying, yeah, that's definitely not enough. It's like it's nice to see everyone doing it. Everyone's kind of coming together in solidarity. Even though I heard that it was kind of acting as a someone was saying, yeah, because if you link it, then afterwards basically it would push down everything on Black Lives Matter.
okay.
So it was actually taking up all of their space on there. So that's why I had to take on my hashtag afterwards, after I was informed, because I
Take
was
it
like, oh,
down.
okay. Yeah, exactly. After I was informed, I was like, oh, okay, cool. That means that every new one that was being placed up, it was
Yeah.
basically just knocking everything off the Black Lives Matter kind of website.
Okay. I don't even understand that, but okay. I understand. I don't
Yeah.
understand, but yeah.
Oh no, because I think because of the hashtags,
Yeah.
basically what was happening is that save on their site is kind of coming up as just black squares.
Yeah.
So someone was saying that it was actually kind of like acting not as a it was like kind of blocking what they could actually post out. So that's why it was causing a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
But
But,
yeah, is there anything else you want to say in this matter? Do you
uh,
want to talk about films?
I'm not even sure. I don't even know at the moment about films. I'm not sure. I think maybe this one we'll keep to this,
Yeah. Okay, good.
and then yeah, next one we're probably going back into the films because there's a few
Exactly.
films that are coming out.
Um what was I say? Um yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, anything else you want to say about this? Do you mean or do you want to wrap up
Yeah.
soon? Because
Um. Yeah.
me get
No. Because
angry. No, joking. No, I'm
no,
playing.
it's just that also yeah. Someone informed me like there was even in England, well in Wales,
Yeah.
There was another death of a young boy. He's like,
Yeah.
I think he's 13. I can't remember his name fully. I think it's like Christopher Kips Cap Capace. I
Yeah.
think is his name. He's and yeah, it was just another sad thing that hasn't really been brought to light. I think they was meant to have a march for what happened. So basically, he was walking home with a few of his so-called school friends or people
Yeah.
from school, and all of a sudden he's ended up in the river and he drowned because he wasn't able to swim.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like basically I think it was either the Crown prosecution in Wales or one of the main prosecutors was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we can't really put this out there because it's not kind of, like public. It's not kind of public interest. That was it.
Okay.
So it's not public interest. So I think even those sort of things where you see it over here where there's not enough, there's not enough kind of not enough making it kind of public knowledge for
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
to say like, okay, this has happened. Why? Let's investigate why this has happened. And I think that's
Yeah.
where people get annoyed because or get angry is because there's just not enough investigation.
Yeah.
That yeah, a lot of these things go unheard of, and there's many more names that have started to come out, which I never even heard of until recently. So it's
Mm.
just yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. There's a Frenchman I heard came up yesterday. I
Yeah,
can't I can't remember his name. I just don't want to show any disrespect.
yeah,
I just saw that there was a protest for him yesterday as well. In all the stuff happened yesterday.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's funny looking at. It's just like I think I was looking at like the hashtags yesterday on Twitter,
mm,
and a name came up, and I was like, "What? Who's this going on?" And it's like, yeah, another person. Uh, I don't know. For me, do you know, like again, it's not like it's not exactly the same thing we're talking about,
yeah,
but what I'm saying right now is relevant for me personally. I think look, black people, man, right in that case of across the world, like it's funny listening to different people talk about different things about I think about every time I travel somewhere, it's always mum always says to us or says to me, are the black people there?
mm,
And we think of it, it's like we can laugh it off sometimes. I'm like, oh, of course there's black people there, mum. Don't be stupid. It's da 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 da. But the truth is, some of the other generation, like mum's generation or generation before, it's because they know when there's not a lot of us out there. Sometimes, like, why is the world wants to paint us as a threat? We're the victims,
yeah,
and that's one of the biggest jokes I find. That's one of the biggest jokes I find. I mean, when it comes to how people love to tell stories,
mm,
it's we're the victim of so much things in this world. We are the victims of so much in the world, but yet you don't want to paint us. Yeah, you want to paint us as the criminals. You want to paint us as the predators. Yeah, we go somewhere. I look at mum's generation before. They go out
yeah,
somewhere and they're getting run down by white skinheads or white bully
mm,
boys. Yeah, they're running them down. We go to
no,
I go to a shop to go buy something. I got my money in my pocket. I want to go buy something. You're following me everywhere, like I've done something wrong.
exactly.
You walk past all the white people stealing shit. You walk past to
Yeah,
follow my ass, like I smell good for you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Do you mean I jump into a different country? I go somewhere. You're staring me out. You're puffing up your chest towards me. I'm trying to live my life. Do you mean? And then you look again. Then you look in America. You're driving around. You go from A to B, and you just shoot people down. But yet, where the threat? Where the threat? Yeah,
that's
where
exactly
the
it.
threat? Come on. So my
Yeah,
point, I think my bigger point I was saying is black people look run a case of the might have injustice going around the world. Anytime again, it's not related to this, but anytime I hear foolishness between black people, I'm like, do you know what? We need to be uniting like this all the time.
mhm,
That's what we need to be doing. And not even us, all of us, all the black people and allies. Like, let's not always wait for someone to die to unite. Do you mean don't wait for a black person, like if you're white or wherever you're from, if you're non-black case of don't wait for someone to die to have a conversation, like when you're talking to your other white friends and your white friend makes a joke or your family member makes a joke and you think, "Do you know what? I'll just leave it. Don't leave it. Like, have your conversations as well. Have those conversations in your communities as well. If you hear say something which is racist, and it doesn't have to be just against black people, just put some fucking backbone And if you hear someone speaking against another race, religion, sex, gender, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, exactly.
pull your backbone up and say, do you know, no, I disagree. Don't wait for it to be a hashtag on fucking Twitter. I mean, that's what I want to see. I want to see some unity happen without these repercussions. Because once we start uniting together, then afterwards, all these little fucking scumbags will be the minorities. And then
Exactly.
slowly but surely, we can re-educate some of them, and the rest of them we keep pushing out, push them off the fucking boat, let them drown. But we need to unite. We all need to unite. Anyway, sorry
Couldn't
about
say it better. But yeah, can't say it better than that. But yeah, it's true. It's true. That's it.
that. Oh gosh, idiot.
But no, it's true. It's just yeah, that's it.
I'm
It,
so
like,
glad.
so I mean, but yeah, no, but yeah, sounds good. But yeah, no, it's true. It's true, and that's it. That's it. Really, it's like yeah. I think the solution is simple in that sense.
You go on, try and
Like
talk my, go on, try and talk my speech now, Joe. Go on.
you did.
Man.
Drop the mic.
Exactly.
But yeah, so no, it's true. It's true. Like yeah, I think everything that's been said has been said. It just needs to be implemented, and yeah, it's just yeah. Hopefully, hopefully this time you'll see there will be a lot more implementation.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think this is the main thing. And it's
But it
like
was,
we love having like remembrance days for like the wars and everything like each year. And I think
yeah.
yeah, even not to say we do it every year, but actually no, I'll go for that. I'll go for a year. Like I know we got the carnival every year, but that's more become like they used to have some more meaning behind it. It's kind of probably lessened now, but
Yeah.
it's still like yeah, just having a kind of remembrance of what's going on, and hopefully we'll never have it again. And a remembrance day isn't enough. That's not what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, we can
Yeah.
have a remembrance day, but nothing changes. There has to be more than that. But a remembrance day is good to say, okay, we remember this, but we're also working towards change every other 364 days out of the 65. You know,
Yeah.
yeah. So
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. But we'll see, man.
yeah,
We'll see how to make people accountable in it. And right now, case of, we'll see what happens again. But I know right now, for me personally, I'm sitting down. I'm, I've got my plan together. I'm working my shit.
yeah,
Like, I'm making it clear to people right now. I'm working on my shit. You watch. Like, you watch. Like, keep doing your foolishness. But you watch.
that's true. It's true.
You watch. No, just
You
joking.
did. Get away from the microphone.
No, but it's true. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I don't. Wait. And just in case the government try and set me up and say, there's some
Oh yeah,
terrorists.
he threatened.
Some terrorists. No, I've seen.
He
I've seen.
said it.
I've
He
seen.
said you watch.
I've seen exactly. I've seen enough films where people set man up.
Exactly. We got him. We got him.
Exactly.
This
We
is
got
it.
his confession right here. Listen to
Exactly.
him. You watch. You watch.
He did.
No. Let me make it very
Yeah, yeah.
clear. Right now, case I'm working. I'm strategizing what I'm doing. I'm doing ways of non-violence. Yeah, I think right now, case
Exactly.
there's ways for us to do shit, and right now, case of I'm working methods to help empower my people and my allies. Simple. Do you mean that's what I'm talking about? So I'm not talking about no violent craziness. That's not how I'm going to deal with the world right now. Okay, so I'm just warning you guys out there that there's people out there who have mental health issues, and right now, case of before I go, it's the biggest thing people keep forgetting because when we keep hearing about people are looting and smashing things up, you need to understand. Like you all need to understand is a lot of these people, a lot of these kids, adults, everyone, they've been sitting down, their whole world's been turned upside down anyway. Whether it's a case of losing their jobs, they've been stuck in isolation for don't know how long, people losing family members left, right, and center
Yep.
across the world. We're in a case of people's reality is being stretched left, right, and center. So, case of when you see people out on the street kicking things down, that kick might not be kicking for Floyd. Do you mean for George Floyd out there? They might be
Yep.
kicking it because, do you know what? F my boss. Why am I being made redundant? I've got no money here. How am I going to feed my kids? Do you
Yep.
mean? And yes, and of all ages, there's young people kicking things. I'm sure old people kicking things. Now, right now, case of everyone's just frustrated. Everyone's pissed off. Everyone's trying to cope with the new world around them. So, do you mean like I don't want people watching this on TV? When people watch on TV and they think, "Oh, look at all these angry kids. Look at all these angry black people." You know, oh, don't do it in his name. A lot of people are not even doing it in his name. People
Mm.
are just pissed off. Do you mean people pissed off and they said, "You know what? Oh, they look at this other windows and oh, look on TV. I can see people outside. Do you know what? I'm gonna join them too. They want to kick off some stuff. I'll kick off some stuff too. Do you
Mm.
know what? I'm broke. I did some stuff. I want to steal some stuff too. So this is me giving them a pass. Let me clear. I'm not giving them a pass, but I just want to say is everyone's quick to blanket, blanket that everyone's acting so unruly and they're all acting thuggish. It's like no, these are some of these people are your people, your own country. Do you mean whereas Trump leaving a lot of his population of his people to die off, and he's so quick to open up open up shop, but not
Yeah.
treat people properly and tell people, oh yeah, just drink some fucking bleach. Like,
Yep.
around that case, so your foolishness is messing people up out there. You're
Mm.
neglecting people. You got your own nurses. Go to YouTube. I can't remember the nurse's name. Just YouTube, nurse in America, talking about killing people. Yeah, the nurses there crying on camera on YouTube, saying that we're killing our citizens with neglect.
Mm.
Everyone's in there. They're not even trained how to do the job properly, but it's killing people off, killing them off, kill, 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 kill. Like these people are angry. Do you
Yeah.
mean these people are angry? Do you mean
Mm.
America isn't America and England or two of the highest cases of coronavirus of people dying?
Yeah.
People are
Yeah.
angry.
It's true. It's just true.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I think I've said what I need to say.
Yeah. And
I
I'm
think
not going to spoil it, but yeah, no, it sounds good.
yeah,
It's just yeah, it's just a sad truth in that sense.
people are yeah, man. You need, I'm not going to apologize. I'm about to apologize. I'm not apologizing. I said what I said. Simple.
Mm.
I said what I said. I swore. Yeah, I swore. I could do a lot worse.
Mm.
Believe me, I wanted to say a lot worse, but I didn't. I kept it calm. A few
No,
few f bombs out there. That's it. You
that's true.
your feelings not too hurt. Don't worry about it. You can live on.
It's just words, but yeah,
Exactly.
but no, it's just no, it's just like you're saying. Like sometimes you kind of have to, yeah, it's just tell it, yeah, tell the truth as you hear it. Yeah, it's just
Mm.
yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah,
Anyway, brother,
hopefully, yeah, no go. What you
go
gonna
on.
say?
I'm going to do the outro first.
Yeah, I was just well, I was actually gonna say yeah. Hopefully next time when we come back and we podcast again, we're gonna have some different news, some better news, and then hopefully yeah, hopefully more things will be less yeah less heavy and yeah. I'm just hoping that afterwards, after a couple of months, I want to see
Yeah.
what happens next. Then hopefully we get some better news to kind of give to you.
Well, yep. And we'll be here to share it and make people
Yep,
accountable.
exactly.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for giving me the kick to record this episode because I think I've been in my own little bubble of dealing with things outside this, but it was good to speak about it, I think. And yeah, I'm happy that you're safe. Can't
Yeah,
wait to come see your mum soon.
exactly. Come over. We'll have a Barbie. Oh my
Exactly.
but yeah,
But 2 meters, though, mate. Social
yeah,
distancing.
exactly.
2 meters.
Social distancing first, but Barbie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Good
All
speaking to
right,
you
cool.
again, brother.
You too, you too. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week's episode.
Take
Peace.
it. Peace.
Yeah, so you see what I said? Yeah. Like, you listen, you watch, you see. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, man, minute,
Yeah.
I'm gonna egg them.
Yeah, egg no,
Yeah,
don't do that. Don't do that.
Nah, blood
You
egging them.
gave them a disclaimer. Don't do that.
Okay, no violence, no violence.
Right. See you later, brother.
Right, yeah. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Once again.